Welcome to Reckless Speculation. I'm the only one on camera tonight thus far, so everyone's in luck. You don't get distracted by these other ugly guys. It's just me on here. Brandon Chain is in the car driving, so he is here via audio, but not necessarily via video. Randall has kind of recovered from his sickness, but then he fell off of the ladder, putting Christmas decorations up in his attic. And so he is out of commission in a different way. I think he's like the kid in high school who faked mono to get out of school for about a month.
He's the
Raj is
glass
always,
man.
yeah, Raj is always kind of missing in action. So we're here for a short 30-minute show tonight, a little recap and preview of tonight's game. So Brandon, take it away. Early thoughts.
Early thoughts. Let's get the elephant in the room out of the way. The Dallas Cowboys. They are who we thought they are, and man, what a debacle that is. They just cannot get over the hump winning a big stage game. We saw this, they did play week one, Tampa Bay, pretty close, so it gave everyone some hope. They play in the easiest conference in the NFL, and we saw back in week 12, that's when they fooled me. I was in on them. They couldn't beat the Raiders at home, and fool me once, shame on me. So I was, like we discussed, we were all in on the 49ers pulling this one out. Wasn't even a question. And man, did they not disappoint, as the Dallas Cowboys typically do to their fans. And it's just, their fans were literally throwing trash at them as they were leaving the field.
I am wearing my orange UT hoodie for a reason, because that was the most UT way to lose a game. It was the way Dallas lost it. But yes, you're right, Brandon. That organization just can't get it together, from the meddling owner to the lack of a GM to just, in that division, if you're a pretty good team, you're getting a home playoff game no matter what, because the competition just isn't there. So you win that division. But yeah, we all picked the 49ers because exactly what you said. They are, the Cowboys are what we thought they were. They're a mediocre team and just had the benefit of playing in a bad division. We see this, every so often from different divisions. It varies. You had, I think a 6-8 Seahawks team one time won the West. This just happens. I want to take a minute though and say this. Even though those games, for the most part, this weekend were blowouts and not really that competitive, the NFL is on the verge of doing something that I thought was impossible. They have laid out what is now creating what I feel is the excitement of the first weekend of March Madness. This Saturday, starting at 3 or 4, up until the night time, then starting back on Sunday, 3 games, and then Monday night wild card. That and all what are going to be really good teams playing against each other, and a lot on the line. I was glued. I mean, we all had terrible weather here in Tennessee, but it could have been beautiful, and I would have still been stuck in front of the TV that entire time watching every game. I thought it was just a fantastic production. What did you think?
Yeah, I totally agree. It's like Christmas, it, like you said, from Saturday, just getting excited. I went out Saturday and met some friends at a bar, and we stayed glued to the TV. And then Sunday, obviously we had snow, so I didn't leave. I didn't leave the couch. I
Yeah.
was glued to the TV the whole time, and again, I'm on my way to meet some buddies tonight to watch this Monday night game. So you're exactly right. They've really done a good job weighing this out and keeping all eyes on the NFL over this period. But one other thing, back to the Cowboys, man, they're in big trouble. I mean, they've got one of the highest, cap. I think they're going to be 11 million over the cap next year in the negative. They're paying Dak 75 million. They just paid Amari Cooper, paid Zeke. I mean, and which all three didn't show up when they needed to, and I didn't see anything super special out of those guys when their back was against the wall. So, and then that debacle of Dak at the end, and if you rehearse something like that, you got to hand the ball to the ref, and it was just man, it was entertaining because it came down, but to the wire. But man, the way they lost that game, I just don't see McCarthy being there after this either.
It reminded me of. Do you remember? Hey, it's probably 10 years ago now. I don't even remember who the Eagles were playing, but they tied the game, and Donovan McNabb said, "I didn't know you could end the game in a tie." And it's like, how do you not know the rules? Like you're a professional athlete. Like that's your job, is to know you're the quarterback. Like it blew my mind. Like of course the center can't just grab the ball and put it where he wants and snap it.
I know. Well, and then you saw that the ref was like stuttering. He didn't even know where to set the ball down. I mean, that was just, for as much as they said they practiced that play, it looked like a complete S show. Like, it was just unbelievable. But
and I agree, and I agree with you on the Cowboys, their future. Well, one, you're over the cap. You're probably going to be on a coaching hunt now, and you didn't lose in the NFC divisional round on a road game with bad weather. You didn't lose in the NFC Championship game. You lost a home game as a home wild card round playoff game.
Yeah.
And the only reason you're at home is because of that division. And you can say what you want. They may be the class of that division for, the next 4 or 5 years. But you've got a lot of soul searching to do and be like, how can we beat how can we win home playoffs games? Richard, we're going to get to our picks tonight. You just got to bear with us for a second. Richard, I asked, who do we like tonight? We're going to get to that. So let's go from Brandon. Let's go from a coaching blunder to what you thought about a potential referee blunder in the Bengals-Raiders game. If you were watching at the bar, I don't know if they had the sound on.
No.
Did you hear the whistle, and did you see that controversy, or was it missed upon you?
I caught bits and pieces of it, and I was trying to rummage through and figure out what was going on. I was hoping Raj would be on because he was at the game. And give us kind of his perspective of what they were feeling in the stadium. But no, go ahead, break that down for us. What you saw. And
so one, Raj looked very cold from the pictures I saw of him. But so essentially, Burrow's rolling out to his right, and his foot gets close to the out of bounds line. He throws it, and one of the refs, I assume, must have thought he stepped out of bounds. But regardless of what the thought process was, the whistle blew in the play. Receiver catches it 2 feet in, touchdown. Well, the rules state if any whistle blows through the course of a play, the play has to be redone. Well, I can't remember if they reviewed it or not. I don't think they did because a whistle's not reviewable, as we've learned. And so instead of replaying the down, they gave the Bengals a touchdown. I mean, it was clear. Whistle was blown before the catch and a touchdown. The defender stopped. It was split second, but the defender obviously heard the whistle. The receiver, I think it was Boyd who called it. He heard the whistle, called it, and then didn't celebrate the touchdown at all. They all thought the play was dead. Refs ended up not calling it dead. Touchdown Bengals, 7 points, 7-point game. So now there's the what if game, like, what if they kick the field goal and they still win, But That being said, they still blew the call, and they've been suspended for the rest of the playoffs. And
Right.
that's just a hard way to lose if you're the Raiders, or at least a hard circumstance to overcome.
Right. No, I agree. I thought, the Raiders, I thought it was going to be a close game, but yeah, to lose in that fashion, that's kind of uh, hard for the Raiders, especially, what's it been, 19 years or seasons since they've been in a playoff game. So, yeah, that was a tough one. But the Bengals, man, they're on fire, and they're going to be tough to stop here for the Titans.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about this matchup. I was it Burrow last year that came into Nashville and just rocked us, or am I thinking of Mayfield and Cleveland? One of those two just came in and rocked us.
I think it was Mayfield. But yeah, he's playing at a high level right now, and he's on the same page with T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, even Boyd. He's a great route runner and a big body, so they're gonna be tough to stop. We've got to get that pass rush. The Raiders did some of that. I think Crosby got one sack um, for the Raiders, maybe more. But pressuring is going to be our key, and fully healthy, seeing D'Amico Autry, Simmons, Landry, Brown, and even Cunningham. He's been a great addition uh, to that linebacker core, especially in coverage. So I'm looking forward to it. I know we'll both be there. It's going to be a fun atmosphere. And man, I'm ready to see that game live.
Hell, I may have 6 extra tickets. Half of my office is in COVID. Either I have COVID or they're in quarantine right now. They're like, okay, we're counting the days. If today's day 1, can we go on Saturday? It's wild right now. All right, let's move to not necessarily the most shocking outcome, but the most shocking disparity of an outcome, and that's Bills Patriots. For one, we all picked the Bills to win. I think a lot of us picked them to cover, but we didn't think of 40 or 30-point cover was in the works. What were your takeaways from that game?
Complete opposite of what I thought. I thought, the Patriots were going to be able to run the ball better than they, kind of more like the cold game where they threw it 3 times. I mean, because the Bills' run D is, let's face it, one of the worst in the league. So uh, I I thought the Bills put a great game plan together. Josh Allen used his legs quite a bit. Um, and like you said, I mean, taking the big arm quarterback and Mac Jones, you got the rookie version of Mac Jones, and that's what we talked about. Like, which version of Mac Jones are we going to see? And you know, big lights, big stage. The rookie quarterback set in.
So let me run a theory by you and see what you think about this. I think going back to the first matchup in Buffalo, Bill Belichick embarrassed the Bills coaching staff and the Bills players. And I mean thoroughly embarrassed them. But these guys are still professional coaches and professional athletes. The next 2 matchups the Bills won. I bet if you could ask Bill privately, hey, would you have done something different to not piss them off so bad? I think he would say yes, because that was a motivated team. They were out for blood. Everyone hates the Patriots and the league hates the Patriots. But man, you embarrass professional athletes like that, and that's just not forgotten. And I think that game was the most important game of all these players' lives. They had to win this game, and when you have that much talent and you have across the board and those kind of athletes, and you can look, Michael Jordan, why he was so much better than ever. He just was there was anger and there was competitiveness, and that just seems like what it was. It was personal to these guys yesterday, and it was just boom from the get-go. I think that embarrassment is going to stay with this group for as long as they're together.
Yeah, I think that's created a new rivalry for sure, between them. You're 100% right. Guys don't forget that, and it was an embarrassment. I don't know necessarily if he would do anything much different. I think he did everything he could in his coaching mind and did he played the game and scripted the game with his strengths and what his talents allow. And that was rely on the defense and, old school football, we're just gonna run it down your throat. Now, that's all he had. That he doesn't
Yeah.
have any other tricks. There you can't rely on Mac Jones to put the team on his shoulders rookie year. So I think he gave it his one shot that game and, opened up all his tricks and playbook to beat him. And, like you said, these other guys get paid too, and they were pissed off. And I'm sure they watched that film 100 times, and that was not going to happen again.
And we'll go down to the NFC. Well, actually, yeah. I mean, there's not much talk about the KFC or KC and Steelers. That's
Right.
kind of what we expected. Let's talk briefly about the Bucks Eagles, and then I want to switch back to. I think the AFC is wide open now. But let's talk a little bit about the Tampa Bay versus Eagles game. It was what I expected. Really wasn't a good game. The Eagles made it a little bit late. Where does this put Jalen Hurts and the Eagles moving forward? And where do you think Tampa stands now?
So it's like I was trying to explain last week. Jalen Hurt, I mean, they have ran the ball well this year. And that is really all they had because obviously when Hurts has to put it on his shoulders, like we saw, he's missing wide open receivers. He is a mobile guy. He can run a little bit with his legs, but let's be honest, that game was over, halftime. And, I think the Bucks put it on cruise control and the Eagles came back a little bit, but that if they wanted to step on their necks, they could have. Jalen Hurts is just a mediocre guy. I mean, he's serviceable. He can manage a game if it's going well, and he's got the run game working for him. But if not, and he's got that pressure on him to carry it himself, he's just not. He's not going to win those games. I don't see him being the answer in Philly. I see them, trying to either go after a veteran or redrafting and something of that nature. I just don't see him being the answer in Philly at all.
Yeah, and so this is the nuance of the NFL. So you're sitting there, you're Philadelphia, you say, "Hey, we made the playoffs. It's a good season." But being that 9-8 team, 8-9 team, that's NFL purgatory. Like you either
Yeah.
got to be really bad and get a good quarterback and turn around the franchise, or you got to build and you got to be really good. Sticking in the middle right there and saying, "Hey, a road playoff game when you lose and you get blown out," like that's the worst that's the worst pocket of the NFL you can be in because you're drafting in the middle. There's just no way to turn the roster over quickly. It's just not a good spot to be in. I think Jalen Hurts is an NFL quarterback, but not to go deep in the playoffs quarterback. Like he will be, I think, a journeyman and he will make a lot of money doing that. And there's nothing wrong with
Yeah.
that. But if your goal, or if you have talent around you to win a Super Bowl or make it to a, major run of the playoffs, you're going to need more than that. But I mean, I like the guy and I think they're a fun team to watch, but they're probably a regular season team.
Yeah, I totally agree. He's just a middle of the road guy, like you said. I think he'll be a journeyman. He'll be like an Alex Smith type.
Yeah.
He can game manage, and like you said, he'll make a lot of money doing that. But this has become a league. If you do not have an elite quarterback or someone with decent accuracy and to complement with a run game, you're not going to be competitive when it comes to the postseason. It's just not going to happen. And we suffered through that same thing, the 8-8,
Oh yeah.
9-7 season with Jeff Fisher there for a long time. So I feel for him. I know how it feels
Oh, even
as
Mike
a fan.
Mularkey. Mike Mularkey went 9-7, 9-7, made the
Yeah,
playoffs, and Amy Adams fine. We got to make a change because that's not where you
yeah, that's your
how you
ceiling.
live in this league.
Yeah, that was your ceiling. Make it to the playoffs, lose first round, season over. And like you said, you don't do yourself any favors on draft day.
Yeah. So I'm intrigued by the AFC playoffs and the collection of teams that are there. There is a lot of firepower. There is a lot of offense, and then there's the team holding the number one seed in home field throughout, which is more of a punch you in the mouth. How do you? What's your take, and what do you think that we're looking towards?
Man, my first take is we got to get through this first game. As a Titans fan, you can't really look to the future. We've got a hot offense coming in to Nashville. It's going to be a cold game, but I don't think there's no precipitation or snow or anything. So, um, yes, I think we can beat the Bengals. I think the fully healthy, we're a better team. Um, pick your poison on offense. If Henry is as healthy as what I'm hearing from Titans radio, he might get more carries than I initially thought. I thought he might be on a pitch count and come in 12, 15 runs, but he may go more than that. So excited to see. But the rest of, I mean, yeah, Tampa, KC, it's going to be Kansas City is going to be tough. I mean, sorry, Tampa's in
Yes.
NFC. Kansas City, they're in playoff form. Patrick Mahomes isn't making those dumb mistakes like he did earlier in the season. They've got weapons in all phases of the game, so it's wide open. I mean, I really think it is, and I say that also including the Titans. I think the Titans have just as good a chance as anybody.
Yeah, I agree. I wouldn't be even the slightest bit surprised or be like, huh, that didn't see that coming. If any of these teams make it out, you've got Bills Chiefs on Sunday night is going to be a heavyweight bout.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm with you. Bengals Titans. Um, I don't think there can be a pitch count on Henry because this could be the last game if they lose, and you have the whole off season to get him back 100% if he's not 100%. I'm hearing the same thing. I'm hearing he looks great. He's moving quickly. And yeah, I mean, he's just one of those. I mean, the guy is basically Chris Johnson on steroids. He can outrun everybody and run over you. And
Yep.
yeah, if they get him going, I think the Titans are uniquely positioned to keep all these other three high-powered offenses off the field, which is kind of what Vrabel did, and that's what they did against Kansas City, I guess 2 years ago now.
Mm-hmm.
Before Mahomes just went nuts with that run that kind of broke the back. But yeah, I mean, I think being at home, yeah, it's going to be cold. I mean, but the Bengals are used to that, so I don't think it helps either team.
Right.
The other one, Bills Chiefs, that's a get your popcorn ready game. That's going to be,
I
especially if we
agree.
see the Josh Allen that came out um, this past weekend, and that team looked really dangerous. Quickly in the NFC, I think Packers roll the Niners. Um, if the Rams win tonight, that's an interesting matchup for Tampa Bay. That defensive line gives Brady fits.
Yep.
Um, and that's a good segue. We got about 5 minutes left. What are you looking for tonight? And who do you think wins? And then, of course, we got to give our gambling addicts a little bit of our picks. Reckless speculation thus far is undefeated in the wild card round, which is unfortunate because I did a hiatus of gambling when we just got hot. But all right, so we got tonight. What is the spread? The spread is the Rams -3.5 and over under 48.5.
I think the Rams roll tonight. I think Murray will give them a little bit of fits, but like you said, that defense. I mean, the Rams sold out everything. First round picks, all these acquisitions. I mean, the time is now for them. I think they're motivated. They're well coached. As long as Stafford can keep it to one interception or less, I think the Rams roll no problem.
Yeah, I heard some crazy stat. If he throws no interceptions, they're like 6-0 or 8-0, and if he throws an interception, they almost lose every game, or maybe something close to that. Bad actual statistic that I just gave, but you get the gist.
Yeah, it's like I said last week. I mean, he's had three games with or 4 games with 3 or more turnovers, and obviously they lost those games. So Stafford, he is a gunslinger. I mean, he's got the weapons to do it. He's just got to be a little smarter with the ball, and I think he knows that. I think they can pull this off. They're just a high-powered team. The Cardinals, not quite, even though they embarrassed the Titans when they came to town. I don't think they're as high-powered of a team, and I'm actually going to take the over here on this as well.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I think if Cardinals played now, Titans would be favored by 6. That was a young Titans team that was still finding themselves. I'll tell you this, LA, get your stuff together. Tickets, I'm looking on here, tickets are going for $81 for a home playoff game. Come on now.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Y'all got to get to the stadium. Monday Night Football, it's a holiday, so don't even give me this LA traffic nonsense. I think I like the over too. Kyler Murray is going to have to be brilliant for this to be a game. But, yeah, I agree. You got one of the best receivers. You got probably the best defensive line, if not at least top 3, going after Murray. Cornerbacks, and I agree with you, the Rams went all in. And this is the anti-Cowboys, right? So the Rams are good owner. They've built things the right way. They're going for it and like strategically going for it, not just trying to, make ESPN headlines every night. So I wish it was 3, not 3.5, but I still like the Rams and the over. I think it's close in the first half, and then the better team breaks away, which would be the Rams. Divisional opponents, they know each other. I think it's an anomaly. The Cardinals are 8-1 at home, and are 8-1 on the road, and have a losing home record or a 500 road record. I think that's just who you play and when you play them.
Right.
I don't put much stock into that. So yeah, I'm going to get the Rams and -3.5 in the over. Yep. Final words.
Man, I'm excited for the playoff game for the Titans, and obviously excited to watch this game tonight. It's going to be a good one, but I just cannot stop thinking about that playoff game at home. I love that it's an afternoon game on a Saturday. Makes my life easier as far as babysitting for my child. So I'm just pumped and cannot wait to be there in person.
Yeah, it's going to be a rowdy crowd. And, I mean, this is what we've been building for and waiting for. And, let's do it. And Cincinnati, which is very close to Nashville, respectively. So I think there's going to be a lot of Bengals fans trying to buy tickets. If you're a season ticket holder, do not sell your tickets.
Yep.
The profit is not worth it. Get there because we've been to one Super Bowl in the history. Let's try to get to another one. So don't sell your tickets and remember the game.
Yep. Totally agree. Tighten up,
All right,
baby.
Brandon. We'll sign off here, and then
Be back Wednesday.
I guess we'll be back on Wednesday and break down this game and look forward to next weekend.
Sounds good. See you, buddy.
All right. Take care. Thanks for watching. Subscribe and rate and all the other stuff that Randall usually forgets to tell you to do, but I got it.